The first time Vivian Okeke saw me, she nearly let me drown on her own front steps. Rain slammed the city like fists on a metal roof. Lightning cut the sky. I stood at the mansion gate, soaked to the bone, holding nothing but a torn nylon bag and a sealed brown envelope. The guard, Samuel, peered out. "Girl, get lost. Madam hates beggars." Another flash of lightning showed the swimming pool behind him. For one crazy second, I thought about jumping in. At least the rainwater there looked warm. My stomach growled louder than the thunder. I squeezed the envelope. If I leave now, I die on the street. So I begged, "Please, sir. One night in the storeroom. I'll scrub floors free." Samuel hesitated, then Vivian's voice barked from the intercom. "Who's blocking my gate?" "Samuel's stray girl, ma." "Let her in. I need a new mop anyway." That's how I entered the house that would ruin me and remake me. The foyer smelled of lemon polish and rich people. Chandeliers flickered as the power dipped. Vivian descended the marble stairs like a queen who owned the lightning. She eyed my wet clothes. "Name? Jewel Ma." She laughed. "A jewel? In that rag?" I kept my head down. She poked the envelope under my arm. "What's that?" "Personal, Ma." She shrugged. "Fine. You start now. Sweep the east hallway. No noise." Before I could thank her, Jason, the butler, thrust a gray uniform at me and pointed downstairs. "Servant's shower. 3 minutes. If you're slow, Madam will time it." I counted each second under the cold water, thinking of Mum's voice. "Survive tonight. Tomorrow we'll listen." Morning came like punishment. Vivian sat at the dining table with her smoothie and her sister Lucy, who scrolled a tablet. Vivian waved a tiny remote. "CCTV, state of the art. Every corner of this mansion watches you. 1 dirty spoon equals half salary gone." Lucy smirked. "Record her. We need laughs." I bowed. "Yes, Ma." But in my pocket hid something smaller than her cameras, my own pin cam still rolling. "Jewel, polish the silver and smile. Rich people like happy servants." Me in my head, "Smile, Jewel, so nobody sees you plotting." Hours later, I knelt on marble scrubbing when Vivian's stilettos clicked near my ear. "My dog sleeps in better rooms than you'll ever see." Me, "Yes, Ma." Vivian, "Say thank you, Ma." "Thank you, Ma." She sprayed air freshener right over my head, laughing as I coughed. The spray blinded me for a second, but I still heard the beep of the hidden CCTV zooming in. Hi, story lovers! Smash that subscribe button before Vivian smashes my spirit further. More twists are coming. Trust me, you don't want to blink. Back to the floor. Every insult she threw, I stored like data. Each night, I hummed a lullaby to calm my heart. A simple tune, yet whenever the notes drifted upstairs, Vivian's laughter froze. Her wine glass would shake. I saw it through the kitchen camera feed Jason secretly replayed for the junior staff. Lucy whispering to Vivian, "Why does that tune scare you?" Vivian voice cracking. "It reminds me of something I buried." I pressed pause on the screen, staring at her face. Buried, like a secret? Or a person? My pulse jumped. Samuel tapped my shoulder. "Careful, Jewel. Madam breaks toys when she's bored." "I'm no toy," I muttered, pocketing a spoon that still carried Vivian's lipstick. DNA is louder than words, if you know how to use it. The mansion was finally quiet. Quiet enough to hear the generator's distant cough and the drip-drip somewhere in the roof. I should have been asleep on my narrow bunk, but the lullaby escaped my lips before I could stop it. 4 gentle notes up, 4 notes down. La 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 la! La 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 la! It was the song Mum hummed when she braided my hair back in the orphanage. Down the corridor, Samuel muttered, "You humming again, Jewel?" "Sorry," I whispered. "Don't stop," another maid said. "It scares the rats away." But upstairs, my humming shattered glass nerves. At 12:07 a.m., hallway bulbs in the West Wing burst one by one. Vivian Okeke, billionaire, lightning queen, terror in stilettos, stumbled out of her suite, silk robe flying. Vivian shouting, "Jason!" Who switched on a radio? "Kill that noise!" Lucy, "It's past midnight, sister. Breathe." Vivian voice trembling, "That lullaby, it's a ghost." She didn't know the whole staff could hear her through the open intercom. When I replayed the camera feed later, I saw her hands shake like leaves in harmattan wind. I pressed pause, zoomed in on her wild eyes, and whispered, "What did you bury, madam?" 2 days later, Vivian declared the house spirit-infested and forced every servant outside while a priestess smudged sage smoke through her halls. As we waited on the lawn, I spotted a tiny attic window perched above the east wing, its hinge so rusty it looked untouched for years, yet the lullaby echoed loudest from there. as if the room breathed it. That night, long after lights out, I crept up the servants' stairwell. Each step squealed a warning. Danger, Jewel. Still, I pressed on. The attic door groaned open. Cobwebs sagged like old fishing nets. Dust floated in thick ropes. On a distant wall, scratched in charcoal, lay a crude music staff, the lullaby, signed with shaky initials. To my star, sleep until I find you, V.O. Vivian Okiki's mark. I touched the charcoal letters. My fingers came away black, my pulse hammering. Behind me, a floorboard popped. I spun. Only eyeless toys stared back. Heart racing, I fled, sealing the attic door before its shadows could follow. Hey, story lovers! If your chest is pounding like mine, hit subscribe. The secrets hiding above rich ceilings get wilder. Now, back into the nightmare. Friday afternoon, crates of French wine worth more than my life arrived for Vivian's gala. Jason dragged me, Lucy, and 2 drivers into the basement cellar. A brick maze, colder than a mortuary. Jason's phone rang, Vivian screaming about flowers upstairs. So he sprinted off, leaving me alone. As I stacked bottles, my boot nudged a hidden metal handle behind a loose plank. Curiosity beat fear. I tugged. A shallow drawer hissed open. Inside lay a single half-burned photograph under cracked glass. Wiping soot, I saw a chubby baby on a picnic blanket wearing a jade turtle pendant, the same pendant I'd worn around my neck my whole life. Scrawled beneath, 24 April 2008, day you were taken. My knees wobbled. I pulled out my own pendant. Identical shell pattern, identical ruby eye. Impossible, I breathed. A footstep echoed. I slammed the drawer shut, but the glass slipped, crack, and sliced my finger. Jason appearing. Jewel? You're bleeding. Me. Bottle broke, sir. Clean up. Madam will dock your pay. He left, never noticing the glass shard with the baby's pendant now hidden in my pocket. My blood dripped onto the cellar floor. An oath. Find the truth or die. Back in the maid's room, I filmed the shard with my pin cam, then filmed my own pendant. Frame by frame, a perfect match. Lucy entered, eyed my bandaged finger. Lucy, Vivian will skin you if you slow tonight's party. Ever seen this pendant? Lucy, old family heirloom. Vivian lost it the day my sister's child vanished. Sister's child? My thoughts spun. By dusk, the mansion buzzed. Vivian glided in a gold sequined gown, ordering perfection. I wore a threadbare wrapper, her idea of staff chic. The plaster on my finger felt tight. Lucy brushed past and whispered, 7:45. Be ready. I nodded. Plan set. At 7:45 p.m., I slipped behind curtains, climbed the back staircase, and placed a speaker in the attic window. I hit play. My lullaby amplified. Then I sprinted back. Downstairs, music faltered. Vivian froze mid-handshake, champagne glass trembling. Phones raised. I stepped forward with a tray of bubbly. Vivian yanked a glass. I jolted. Wine splashed over her millionaire gown. Gasps sliced the air. Vivian's palm cracked across my cheek. The slap rang like a gunshot. My pendant chain snapped, flying under a spotlight by Lucy's shoes. Phones zoomed in. Gasps became shouts. Guest. Isn't that Madam's lost pendant? Influencer livestream. Guys, Jade Turtle Girl. Vivian's knees buckled. She reached for the pendant. Lucy snatched it first, holding it high. Lucy voice shaking. This pendant belonged to my baby. Dead silence. My heart thundered. Her baby? Inspector Okonkwo arrives. A gravelly voice sliced the tension. Okonkwo. Evidence stays clean, ladies. A tall man in a weathered coat stepped in, flashing an old detective badge. He collected the pendant, then faced me. Miss, can we take a quick DNA swab? I nodded, mouth dry. He swabbed and bagged it. Vivian hissed, you're retired. Truth never retires. He turned to cameras. Tonight we might solve a 17-year mystery. Okonkwo, Lucy, Samuel, and I slipped toward a side stair, but Vivian blocked us with guards. Vivian cold. Hand over that pendant. Chain of evidence. This girl is a thief. Lucy cutting in. Or she's family, Vivian. They glared like rival lions. I felt my life stretching between them like a tug rope. The grandfather clock chimed midnight. Okonkwo pocketed the pendant. I'll be back with lab results. He vanished into the swirling guests. Vivian seized my arm. Pack and leave. Lucy yanked me free. She stays with me. They pulled until pain shot through my shoulder. I wrenched loose. I choose, I said. And I choose the attic, the place your secrets sing. Vivian's face drained white. Lucy gasped. Samuel crossed himself. Upstairs, the lullaby drifted softer now, as if beckoning. I didn't plan to become a viral clip in a gold hall full of laughing strangers, but the night has a way of choosing its own movie. After the slap, the room went silent for 2 long heartbeats. Then the whispers began to sting. Who is she? Why is the maid wearing jewelry? Is this part of the show? My cheek burned. My pendant glittered on the floor by Lucy's heel. Vivian's chest rose and fell fast. She looked at me like I was a stain she could scrub off her life. Pick it up, she said through her teeth. Hand it to me. I looked at Lucy. She didn't move. Her fingers hovered over the pendant like it was hot coals. Jason! Vivian snapped. Kneel her. Jason froze, tray in hand. Madam? Kneel her, she repeated, louder. Or you are finished in this city. Samuel stepped in front of me. He didn't say a word. He just gave me a small nod, like stand. Don't fold. Vivian smiled a thin smile. She turned to the guests, all cameras. Forgive the drama. Some girls forget their place. Her tone was velvet, but her eyes were knives. A saxophone in the band tried to restart the music. A shy little note that sounded like it wanted to run away. Nobody danced. They wanted blood. Look at me, Vivian said. I looked. Say thank you for the job I gave you. The room leaned in. Thank you, I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. For the job and for the slap, I will frame it. A few people laughed. The wrong kind of laugh. Vivian's jaw tightened. Cute, she said. Since you like drama, here's work. Crawl to the bathroom and bring my spare earrings. Left drawer, marble vanity, this life. If you run, security will handle you. She meant it. I saw the guards shift. I didn't crawl. I walked. I could feel every eye following me up the gold stairs. Near the top, I paused by a balcony and looked down. Vivian lifted her glass. She was smiling again, like she owned the world. Lucy wasn't smiling. She had tucked the pendant into her palm. She slipped it into Inspector Okonkwo's evidence bag right under the phones. Bold. Cold. Hands steady. In the guest bathroom, everything was too white, too bright. I found the left drawer. Earrings, yes. Also a velvet ribbon box, empty, except for a card with a short note. To my star, sleep until I find you. The same line I'd seen in charcoal in the attic. My stomach flipped. I stood there 5 slow seconds, then took the earrings and the empty ribbon box. I put the box in my blouse. I didn't know why. I just did. When I returned, the host, a TV man with teeth too white to be real, had pulled Vivian to a mic. Madam Okeke, he boomed. A little accident can't stop this night. Tell us about your charity. Vivian flashed camera smile. We raise funds for missing children. Kids who lose their way. Her eyes flicked to me. Or their mothers. A joke. The guests laughed too loud. I stood at the edge of the stage, holding her earrings, feeling like the punchline breathing. Bring them, she said softly, without looking at me. I climbed the last step. She held out her ear like I was a mirror, and I clipped the diamond to her lobe. She leaned closer. You think a trinket makes you special? Her whisper was ice. I can buy 100 like you by morning. I'm not for sale, I whispered back. I'm not a trinket. She pulled away and faced the crowd. Applause for the help, she said. She tries her best. They clapped like seals. Someone whistled. I felt very small and very, very awake. Then the lullaby came, not from my mouth, from above, soft at first, like a shy hand knocking on a door, then louder, spilling down the grand stairs. Guests turned their heads. Phones swung upward. Lucy's eyes went wide. She wasn't in on this part. Good. The speaker I hid in the attic window did its job. Vivian's glass rattled. Her skin went white. She took 1 step back. 2. Her heel slipped. Samuel caught her arm. It's just an old song, he said. Vivian shoved him away. Turn it off! Turn it off! Lights blinked. The band stopped. The hall listened, held by a ghost that sounded like home and danger at once. The TV host tried to make a joke. Ah, soundtrack! No one laughed this time. Security. Vivian's voice shook. Find it. Break it. They scattered. Guests whispered words like haunted, curse, omen. Then a woman near the stage, maybe drunk, sang along. Her voice wobbled. It hurt my chest. Vivian pointed at me. You. Did you do this? I said nothing. Answer me, she snapped. Did you? I sang it, I said. But not now. She stared, trapped between fear and rage. I saw a flash in her eyes. Not hate. Loss. Leave my hall, she said. Go to the servants' quarters. If you touch one more thing. She didn't finish. Her voice broke. She turned her back and smiled at cameras she could control. The lullaby kept floating down like a slow rain. I left the stage. Lucy stopped me at the stairs and pressed something into my hand. A key. Tiny, old, rust biting the edges. East attic, she whispered. My sister thinks she locked it years ago. She didn't. I stared at her. Why help me? Lucy's mouth twisted. Because I'm tired of being the only one who hears the truth and pretends it's wind. She pushed me on. Go before she changes her mind. In the corridor, Jason caught up, panting. Jewel, Madam wants your things packed. She told me to end your contract. My contract? I smiled a little. I never signed one. He winced. Take this. He slipped me a folded napkin. Inside, a tiny SD card. Backup of tonight's cameras, just in case. Thank you, I said. Don't thank me, he whispered. Pray for me. I kept moving. I could still hear the lullaby. It pulled me like a thin string tied to my ribs. At the base of the attic stairs, I paused. The key grew sweaty in my palm. I looked down at my shoes. They were wet with spilled champagne. On the wall, a family portrait watched with painted eyes. Okay, I said to the empty steps. Okay, I climbed. The door opened. The attic breathed dust and secrets onto my face, and the night below me shook a little harder. Hi, story lovers. If you're holding your breath like me, hit subscribe right now. This story is about to tip over from drama into pure explosion. Ready? Back to it. By the time I came down from the attic, empty-handed, heart-pounding, the gala had exploded into chaos that looked neat from far away and terrible up close. People were smiling like nothing was wrong, but their phones were doing the real work. Clips of Vivian slapping me looped on screens. Slow motion. Reverse. Zoomed on her ring cutting the corner of my mouth. Another angle caught my pendant flying, Lucy's hand hovering, my cheek turning. A social butterfly in blue feathers whispered to her camera, "Live at the mansion, guys." The maid's pendant is the same as Madam's missing heirloom. What does it mean? She drew out the last word like candy. Hashtags burst across phones as if falling out of the ceiling. Jade Turtle Girl. Who is Jewel? Okeke Gala meltdown. Someone projected a meme on the back wall. My shocked face under big text. When your necklace starts a board meeting. People laughed. It stung and it helped. Tragic comedy. The kind that loosens a tight chest for a second and then tightens it again. Vivian tried to save it with money. For every share of this nonsense clip, she told a journalist, I double my donation tonight. Deal, the journalist said cheerfully, already posting, because that's a lot of shares. The band began to play again, but they were background now, like AC hum. The real music was the ping-ping of messages flying. Back of house, staff group chat lit up like Christmas. Agnes, Omo, we're trending. Madam will sack all of us. Breathe, don't sign anything tonight. Jason, camera backup's done. Stay calm. Drink water. Jewel, you okay? Me, I'm standing. A new number popped into my phone. Unknown contact. The message was short. Okonkwo kitchen now. I slipped through a service door. The kitchen smelled like butter, garlic, and fear. Inspector Okonkwo stood by the pantry, coat off, sleeves rolled. Close it, he said. I did. He held up a small plastic tube. Mouth swab. 2 seconds. I opened my mouth. He swabbed, capped it, labeled it Jewel. 2358. Precise handwriting. Calm hands. Why help me, I asked. He leaned against a steel counter. 17 years ago, he said, a child vanished on a market day. Case file kept me awake. Budget cut. Politicians bored. It went cold. I built a little coffin in my head and buried it there. He looked me dead in the eye. And then I heard your song on a live stream. Same lullaby from a witness statement. My skin prickled. Whose statement? Mother, he said. He didn't say a name. Before I could ask more, the kitchen door swung. Lucy slipped in with fast eyes. You have it? She asked him. Okonkwo tapped his pocket with the evidence bag. Pendant secured. Swab taken. Good, Lucy whispered. Vivian is telling press it's fake. Okonkwo sighed. She can tell the moon it is paper. The moon will still be the moon. Lucy turned to me. She chose her words like they were glass blades. You are not safe here tonight. My sister is unpredictable. She wants to fire all staff, I said. She wants to skin a ghost, Lucy said flat. Security will escort everyone out to look strong. Then she will lock this place down. What about you, I asked. Lucy almost smiled. I have my ways. Okonkwo set the tube into a small cooler. I need one more sample, he said, from someone related to the original file. Lucy lifted her chin. I'll give mine. He shook his head. Not you. Not yet. The door opened again. Jason slipped in, face pale, breath short. She's moving now. Guards are collecting phones. Guests can keep theirs. Staff can't. Okonkwo's jaw tightened. Classic. Jason slid me another napkin, this one heavier. A tiny silver flash dropped into my palm, the smallest USB I'd ever seen. Everything, Jason whispered. Whole night, multiple angles, the slap, the pendant, her telling us to kneel you, backed up to 3 cloud accounts. Jason, Lucy said softly, they will come for you when they find out. He shrugged. They already come for me every day. This is the first time I opened the door first. Okonkwo handed me a plain card. No title. Just a number. If someone tries to take you, he said, run toward a crowd and call me. Do not run into the dark. The dark loves girls like you. I swallowed. Noted. He nodded once. I'll get this to a lab I trust. Lucy stepped between us, fast. Discreet, she said. No leaks. Okonkwo met her stare and didn't blink. I don't leak. I pour. She exhaled. Do it. Jason cracked the door. The hallway beyond was wild in a quiet way. Polite fights, teeth showing behind smiles, security gliding like shadows that can hold you. We moved. Okonkwo vanished into that river of people like a stone drops into water. No splash, no trace. Lucy and I walked toward the side garden where cars waited. Jason peeled off to check on desserts, which was code for go hide the server's copies. Samuel was at the exit, arguing with 2 guards. Orders, one guard said. Staff phones now. Samuel folded his arms. You want my phone? Bring paper from Madam's lawyer. Not your mouth. Samuel, I hissed. Don't. He didn't look at me. They can't strip us like goats, he muttered. Not tonight. Lucy stepped in like a knife. My guests leave first, she told the guards. Staff remain. Anyone who touches them answers to me. They hesitated. Everyone knew Lucy ran the company's books. She wasn't noise. She was numbers, and numbers burn. Outside, the driveway was a parade of headlights. Drivers stood by doors. The night air felt wet and new. I wanted to gulp it like water. A camera crew ran toward us. Miss, the reporter I'd seen inside, short braids, calm eyes, lifted her mic. Are you the maid from the clip? Lucy started to block her. I touched Lucy's arm. It's okay. The reporter lowered the mic a little. I'm not here to laugh at you, she said. I know humiliation when I see it. Do you want to say anything on record? I looked into the lens. My own face looked back at me, small and stubborn. Just this, I said. Don't call me thief. Not tonight. I didn't steal a pendant. Something stole me, maybe. But I'm still here. Her eyes softened. Name? Jewel, I said. That's the only name I have. The crew left us. Lucy watched me like I was a hallway with lights turning on one by one. You're either brave, she said, or very tired. Both, I said. She opened her car. Get in. I'll hide you in the guest cottage till morning. I hesitated. Something inside me pulled backward toward the house. I can't leave yet. I stopped. What? She asked. I took out the velvet ribbon box. Her face changed. She reached, then stopped herself. Where did you find that? Bathroom drawer, I said. Left side. Lucy's mouth trembled. She didn't touch the box. My sister's favorite place to hide things she pretends to forget. What is it? I asked. Nothing now, she said. Once it held a ribbon, a tiny one, tied around a wrist. Her voice thinned. A very small wrist. Silence folded around us. I looked back at the house. In the top window, the attic window, the speaker sat like a small black square against the night. The lullaby had stopped. The sky felt heavier. My phone buzzed. Unknown number again. Lab in motion. I'll have something fast. Stay visible. Don't be alone with Vivian. I typed back, where are you? He replied with one word, close. Lucy's driver cleared his throat. Madam? 5 minutes, she said, eyes still on the ribbon box. Then she shut the door and turned to me. Jewel, listen. Whatever happens next, do not sign any paper. Do not accept any gift. Do not apologize on camera. People will offer you soft lies. Soft lies grow teeth. Why are you helping me? I asked again. Lucy looked at the window. Because I hate that song, she said, and I hate why I love it. She stepped closer, voice low. And because under all her ice, my sister does too. From the main doors, Vivian appeared with 2 lawyers in dark suits. Her face was back to perfect. No tremble, no fear, only purpose. She walked like a verdict. Jewel, she called. Come. Lucy moved, but Vivian raised a hand. Alone. I stood my ground. With Lucy, I said. Vivian's smile didn't reach her eyes. Fine. With Lucy. We met halfway on the gravel. Cameras gathered like birds. The lawyers formed a wall behind her. Samuel and Jason hung back, close enough for courage, far enough to keep their jobs. Vivian spoke softly. I said things I shouldn't have. You slapped me on live TV, I said. Her smile held. And I will manage that. Here's what happens now. She nodded, and a lawyer handed me a beige folder. Read it, she said. It is an apology. From you. I didn't touch it. From me? For wearing stolen property, she said. For disturbing my event. For defamation. Lucy's head snapped toward her. Defamation? Vivian didn't look away from me. You will sign. I will give you 5 million naira and a ticket to anywhere in West Africa. You will delete your posts and your gadgets. Her eyes flicked to my blouse. She knew about gadgets. You will leave this place and never speak of my name again. I stared at the folder like it was a snake. No, I said. Her lashes fluttered. She didn't expect that. No? I won't sign, I said. I didn't steal anything, and I won't sell my mouth. Around us, the air thickened. The lawyers shifted. One opened his mouth. Vivian stopped him with a finger twitch. Think carefully, she said, voice almost kind. The world will eat you for breakfast. I am the plate or the teeth. Choose. I thought of the attic, the charcoal line. To my star, sleep until I find you. My throat felt tight. I choose the truth, I said, even if it bites. For a second, one small second, pain crossed her face. Then it was gone. Security, she said softly. 4 men stepped forward. Lucy clenched her fists. Samuel moved. Jason saw what I saw. The night was about to get hands. And then the drive gate opened, and a plain gray car slid in with no noise. It stopped by us. Inspector Okonkwo stepped out holding a brown envelope with evidence stamped in red. Good evening again, he said, voice steady. Madam, Miss, Counsel. Vivian's eyes narrowed. This is private property. Truth, he said, often shows up without invitation. He lifted the envelope. I have preliminary lab results. Cross-check will follow by morning, but the numbers are clear enough to hurt. Vivian's poise cracked at the edge. Lucy didn't blink. I felt the gravel under my shoes like sand at a beach where a big wave is coming. Vivian, she whispered, what did you do that night? Vivian turned away. Everything I had to. The inspector folded the papers. We'll reopen the 2008 case. I'll need both your statements. Vivian's voice rose sharp. This will ruin us. Lucy looked up. Maybe we deserve ruin. The tension cracked like lightning. Vivian's lawyer tugged at her sleeve, but she yanked free. She pointed at me, trembling, though. You don't understand, she hissed. If the world knows she's yours, our company dies. The board will destroy us. Investors, donors, the trust fund, everything gone. Lucy, maybe truth is more important than profit. Vivian, truth doesn't feed legacies. Their words cut through each other like swords. I watched, silent, cold. The same women who'd fought over me like property before even knowing my name were now splitting reality open. Finally, Lucy stood. I want to tell the truth. Vivian laughed bitterly. Then tell them how you begged me to hide your shame. I begged you to protect my child, not erase her. Vivian's hand flew up, but she stopped herself halfway. She looked at her own trembling fingers and let them fall. The inspector broke the moment. Enough. This isn't confession night. I'll take formal statements in the morning. For now, Miss Jewels stays somewhere safe. Not under my roof, Vivian spat. Lucy squared her shoulders. Then under mine. The sisters stared at each other, silent war blazing. One tear rolled down Lucy's cheek. I lost her once. I'm not losing her again. Vivian's lip trembled. You already lost everything. As we turned to leave, Vivian whispered something I almost didn't catch. You think she's yours, but you don't know half of it. It chilled my spine, like a secret waiting in the dark. Hi, story lovers. You're not breathing, right? I wasn't either. Smash that subscribe button because the truth just cracked open and the fire is coming next. Morning hit the mansion like a riot. Reporters swarmed the gate. Headlines screamed, #Jade Turtle Girl, billionaire's maid turns out to be lost heiress. Okeke Empire shaken by secret DNA revelation. Inside chaos. Lucy's phone buzzed nonstop. The board of Okeke Holdings called an emergency meeting. I sat beside her in the car as we drove to their glass headquarters on Victoria Island. My stomach knotted. They'll eat you alive, I said. Lucy smiled weakly. They've been nibbling for years. When we entered the boardroom, every executive in their shiny suits looked at us like vultures who'd smelled blood. At the head of the table sat Vivian, flawless again. Hair slicked, voice steady. She was already there. Good morning, she said coolly. Let's proceed. Lucy froze. You called this meeting? Vivian smiled without teeth. Damage control is still my duty as chairwoman. Board member. We've seen the news. Investors are threatening to pull out. The trust fund for missing children is under investigation. Vivian clicked a remote. Screens lit up with spreadsheets and headlines. We deny all rumors. The Maid fabricated evidence. Simple. Lucy's chair screeched as she stood. That Maid is my daughter, gasps rippled. Phones recorded. Vivian raised a hand. Delusional, she said. My sister's grief is clouding her judgment. We all know she struggled emotionally after the riots. Lucy slammed a folder on the table. Inside, printed DNA reports. Read them. The CFO frowned. If this is true, then what happened to the baby we buried? Vivian cut him off. We buried a symbol, not a child. The room went still. Lucy's voice shook. You lied to me? You made me mourn heir? Vivian's smile flickered. It saved you. Saved me? Lucy whispered, You stole my life. Vivian looked around the boardroom. You see? She's unstable. Always was. That's when I stood up. Stop calling her unstable. My voice bounced off the walls. She may have hidden pain, but at least she can feel it. You just hide behind your money. The room murmured. Some nodded, some scowled. Vivian's eyes shot fire. Security, she began, but a voice interrupted from the speakerphone, the major shareholder joining remotely. Voice. Vivian? The board has reviewed the preliminary reports. Until further notice, you are suspended pending investigation. Vivian's face froze. You can't. Voice. The evidence is public. The investors demand accountability. Miss Lucy Okeke will act as interim chair. Lucy gasped. The screen went dark. Vivian's hand gripped the table edge. She turned slowly toward her sister. You did this. Lucy shook her head. Truth did. Vivian's voice broke into a growl. You think you've won? That child isn't your salvation. She's your undoing. Security entered. Vivian brushed past them, heels clicking like gunshots. As she reached the door, she looked back at me. You'll regret opening that drawer. And she left. Lucy's shoulders slumped. The room exhaled. Cameras outside flashed through the glass walls. I touched her hand. She smiled weakly. Not yet, but maybe one day. I thought that was the end of the fire. I was wrong. Because hours later, Okonkwo called. His voice was grave. Jewel, the lab ran a deeper test. There's something strange in the results. You need to hear this in person. And that's when everything we thought we knew began to burn again. Night fell with a strange hush over the Okeke mansion. Vivian had vanished after her boardroom fall, but no one guessed where rage travels when it has no throne. I couldn't sleep. Okonkwo's warning echoed. The deeper test shows something off. Lucy paced the cottage. I too wired for rest. Around midnight, Samuel burst in, face white as chalk. Samuel, smoke! East Wing attic. My heart dropped. That attic held the charcoal music, the ribbon box, the proof of every secret. Lucy and I sprinted across the lawn. Orange glow pulsed behind the tiny window. Flames licked up the old cedar roof. Inside, the heat hit like a wall. Vivian stood at the attic door, torch in hand, eyes wild. Vivian, you think truth saves you? It only burns. She tossed the torch onto a stack of dusty trunks. Fire roared. Lucy screamed her name, but Vivian backed away, coughing, and vanished down the stairs. The smoke rolled thick. I dove through it, found the charcoal wall. One line still clear. To my star, sleep until I find you. I tore the panel free, stuffed it under my shirt. The wood singed my skin. Sparks rained. Lucy grabbed my arm. We have to go! We crashed out just as beams cracked and the roof caved. Flames leapt sky high, sipping embers into the dark like angry birds taking flight. Sirens wailed in the distance, but the attic was gone. Dawn painted the ruins gray. The mansion smoldered. Smoke curled like ghosts. Firefighters combed the debris. Vivian sat on the lawn, wrapped in a blanket, silent, eyes hollow. Okonkwo arrived, folder in hand, soot on his coat. Final DNA is back, he said. Not simple at all. He showed Lucy and me the sheet. One sentence glowed like lightning. Subject carries genetic markers from both sisters. My knees buckled. Both? Okonkwo nodded. Embryo created from Vivian's egg and Lucy's egg, combined through experimental tech their father funded. No one told them the embryo survived. A lab mix-up sent it to a surrogate who disappeared in the riot. Lucy whispered. So, we each gave half a life, and spent 17 years tearing each other apart over it, Okonkwo said softly. Vivian heard. Tears finally spilled. She crawled across the burnt grass, stopped before us, and lowered her head to the ash. I did monstrous things, she choked, voice raw. I beg, let me fix even one. Lucy knelt beside her. They clutched each other, sobbing. I stood above them, smoke in my hair, the broken wooden panel in my hands. Later, lawyers drafted a new clause. The Okeke fortune would be rebuilt into a foundation for missing children. Lucy and Vivian both stepped down. Control passed to me, not as heir, but as guardian. I walked through the ruins at dusk, hearing the lullaby in the wind. Maybe the house died so the song could finally live free. Story lovers, what do you think? Did Vivian's final plea earn her any forgiveness? Could you trust family after a secret this deep? Tell us in the comments below, and tap the icon at the right corner of your screen to watch more explosive tales from Story and Soul. Until next time, keep your heart brave and your stories burning.